Yo, what's good, mi gente? You are now rocking with Pura Cultura Sin Censura, and this is your boy Lazy.
And now I'm Smiley.
And together we are the Mexa Twins.
Yeah, man. We recording quarantine style again, man.
For
I don't
real,
know. I
man.
don't know if it's just us, bro. Because we out here in Minnesota that we're always one of us is getting sick, way. So we have to go back to this quarantine style of recording where I'm at my crib, you at your crib, and we
Yeah.
do we gotta do it through the Zoom call, man. Because we follow a lot of podcasters, bro. From all over the place, a lot from the West Coast too, and I never see them. I never see no one calling in sick, man, or making changes because of sickness, bro. So it must be a Minnesota thing, bro. But we take this podcasting serious, man. So we still make it happen.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming through, bro, because I don't know if people can tell the difference in your voice, but you're the one that's kind of going through it right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um,
No, like my voice is lower. I had mentioned before, man, that sometimes I wish my voice was like this low, like all the time, bro. Because sometimes our voice be high as fuck, wait for no reason, man. You know what I mean?
You be feeling like a
So
man with that COVID.
it makes people turn around when they hear this voice, man.
Stay away.
What's it called? But nah, man, I was going through a way. Let's see, I started feeling a little sick on I started getting a little sick like on Tuesday where I had like a sore throat. And then
Yeah.
Wednesday, bro, Wednesday, I no wait, let's see, Tuesday like early, I was had kind of a sore throat, but yeah, in la noche way, I was like, man, I had like a fever, I had a like really bad headache, I had a sinus, like my sinuses were all fucked up, so I had like a really bad headache and a fever way, and it was like bad way. So I called in sick on Wednesday, was going through it all day Wednesday with fevers, headaches, sinuses, and all that. And I ended up calling sick again today on Thursday.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah, man, because I was still feeling that sick way, and sometimes
You might
I
as
work
well
from
call
home.
him Friday again, way. Might as well finish the week off like a gangster.
I don't know, man, but yeah, I called in again, way, but I'm finally starting to feel a little better. Way. That's why I let you know, like, hey, if I'm feeling better, man, let's record, man. Let's get this thing done, because
Yeah.
we're gonna be busy this weekend, way. So I know this is the day to do it. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, man, and I'm feeling better, man. I got the tissue right here, man, just in case I gotta blow my nose and all that.
You keep it
No,
real paisa Mexican with it, bro. You keep a roll of toilet
totally.
paper.
Hey, this is that Charmin though, bro.
You
It's nice
don't
and soft, way.
you don't believe in a box of Kleenex, way?
That's waste of money. Where they charge you for the box, they charge you for folding it neatly in that box. Nah, bro.
Hey, I don't know, way. When I see a box of Kleenex at my crib, way, I never buy it myself, way. But when I see a box of Kleenex at the crib, you kind of feel like you came up in the world, bro.
And
You know what
I don't know about that,
I'm
man.
saying? Like, oh shit, we got toilet paper and we got fucking Kleenex, you know what I'm saying?
It's the little things, huh? Little things that make you
That's
feel like
that's
you made it.
big flex right there, man. Especially if you
This
got
guy.
the wipes, you know what I mean, right next to the toilet paper in the bathroom way.
Oh, the baby wipes.
That means you keeping that ass squeaky clean. I'm
Yo,
just
I remember back in the day when people used to say that, bro, and it's like, as you get as you get more mature, bro, and older, you're like, you know what, man, I think wipes is the route to go, man. But we
it's
ain't gonna get into all that.
that's a shitty process though, way, literally.
Yo, man.
Seriously. No,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, like
man.
like you
I'm
mentioned, this weekend we're gonna be busy. Way it's my daughter's birthday, so um, I'm gonna be just going out with her throughout the whole weekend. We got the whole weekend planned for her.
mhm.
So like you mentioned, you're sick. Good thing you're feeling good enough that we're able to record today, way, because if not, finding a little bit of time throughout the rest of the weekend, that would have been
That's gonna
hard,
be
way.
tough. Gonna be tough.
Whether there's been some podcasts that I listen to, way, that sometimes they pull up, way, and they'll record like a 30-minute episode, way. You know what I mean? Have you
Hmm.
seen those? And it's like, yeah, that was dope. You guys dropped the episode, but like 30 minutes, it was kind of like, man, that ain't enough, bro. know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean, though. Is like finding some time this weekend to record. Today was the day because either people are gonna be sipping. You don't want to, you know, be watching that. Oh shit, I can't drink because I got to record. My daughter's birthday party. Boom, 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 and all that stuff. Um,
Hmm.
but it's gonna be a dope weekend way. So it's dope. It's good that you're starting to feel, better and shit way because we got
Yeah.
plans. You know, not only my daughter's birthday party, but other stuff we're gonna be doing together. So
No, it's funny way because I just realized this shit today way. On so Saturday's gonna be your daughter's birthday party, so we're gonna be doing that's what we're gonna be doing that day. Because Mexicans way we have one event, so that's the event of the day. You
yeah,
hang out and you plan for that event, right? But Sunday way, we're gonna take our kids to the Disney on Ice, so
yeah,
we're gonna be like good. We're gonna be good family man on Sunday, taking the kids to family Disney on Ice. But I just realized today way that this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday way. So
yeah,
so I'm like, man, how things have changed, like how we used to be planning, like even though we're not like the biggest football fans way, we're not, we don't really follow the teams like that or follow the whole games like that. But the Super Bowl is like an event, right? You want to just
yeah,
hang out. Um, People come through. You're sipping. You're watching the commercials. You want to watch the halftime show. This halftime show is going to be Rihanna, so that sounds like it's going to be pretty dope. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. How we going to be doing a whole different? We live in a whole different lifestyle right now. That
yeah,
the Super Bowl was not even like on the. It was. I didn't even know it was this Sunday. Wait, to tell you the truth, way.
yeah. I
That's
did
how.
way.
That's how far out of it I am, man.
I knew, but like just looking at like the schedule or the what do you call that? Like the times that Disney on Ice was gonna be showing.
Mm,
Obviously, Saturday's my daughter's birthday, so we weren't gonna be able to make it Saturday. And then Friday, um, it was like gonna be too late, you know what I mean? Because like I think the latest show was like at 7 p.m. or something.
mm-hmm.
And then like I don't know, I was like, I'd rather not. I'd rather just go on Sunday, which is 3 p.m. And then after that we can still do something, you know what I mean? We could,
Yeah.
go get something to eat. Or, if the fam se pone de acuerdo, we could still get together and get our grub on after the
I don't
after the
know,
show.
man. Little kids will wear you out, man. So it all
See, you
depends.
soft, bro. You
It
soft,
all
man.
depends. You got one little kid, bro. I got two kids, man. It's a whole. Them kids drain your energy, man. So either way, I might, I am gonna try to make it back home and catch the halftime show or something, man. But
Mm,
I ain't what do you call it? I'm not planning on it, because I'm not trying to get disappointed. Way. So it's like, you know, as you get older, way you learn, way you don't want to overbook your days, way, because then you end up getting
stressed.
stressed. You end up getting annoyed and cranky for no reason. Way you're like, all right, we're gonna go do this event with the kids, and after
Yeah,
that, we're gonna meet up and we're gonna watch the game, and we're gonna just hang out for a while, and then the kids are taking forever to get their stuff. The parking's packed and everything's and then we're just gonna be
yeah,
pissed off for no reason. Way. So
yeah. And
I'm not I'm not planning on it, man.
you be having a like even if it's like a subconscious timeline, you know what I mean? It's like I ain't gonna fuck it. I ain't gonna watch it. But then somewhere deep inside, you're like, I might still be able to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We might. It's like, nah, fuck that.
yeah,
To be honest,
you,
wait,
yeah,
I don't even I have no interest on who's playing the Rihanna show, bro. You could catch that on fucking YouTube like that
yeah,
same night, way. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
don't know, way.
I'm not trying to take away from the event, way, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna let it interfere with the plans that we have already made, man. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I think we're gonna take our kids. Their cousins are going también with some of our brothers and sisters. So it's gonna be a dope time, man. We
Yeah,
gotta make sure they have a good time, man.
yeah.
So
It's gonna
that's gonna be
be well, it's gonna be Frozen. You know what I mean? Like for the people that have kids or had kids that watch that, Frozen's gonna be playing, and also um
Encanto.
Encanto. You know what I mean? So that's two movies that my daughter really likes.
Yeah.
So last time I took her, I believe it was fuck, I don't know if it was last year. Uh, Yeah, I think it was last year. Last time I took her, she was small, she was younger way. So
Mhm.
she was like excited and interested in it, but she really didn't show much emotions. But now that
Yeah.
she's a little older, I'm sure she's gonna be, a little bit more excited.
Yeah. No, it should be a good time, man. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be fun, bro. And honestly, wait, like how you mentioned, like you were thinking about Friday and all that, bro. Like the downtown gets wild on the weekends, way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be getting out of a show on a Friday night. Probably gonna be around 9 o'clock, way. That's when people are hanging around the corner, the streets and the corners, up
Yeah.
to no good, way. You know what I mean? Uh, like
You
honestly,
sound
way.
like you from the cul-de-sac,
Nah,
Holmes.
way, because I'm gonna tell you this way. Like if I'm rolling solo, if I'm like, let's say me and you are walking down the street, I don't care what time of the day it is, way. But when you got your kids with you, it's like you're vulnerable, way, because your kids, way, you don't want to put them in situations that they shouldn't be in, way. So like
Yeah.
that's what my thing is, way. I try to avoid and prevent any unnecessary shit, man.
Yeah, for people that, are not from Minneapolis or the Twin City area over here, downtown Minneapolis, it gets crazy after dark, you know what I'm saying? And
Nah, yeah, there was a time where getting your phone snatched was like one of the biggest things here in Minneapolis. Like
yeah, getting
people.
jumped, getting your phone snatched.
Mhm.
But I don't know if you've been down there like recently. I don't know what I was doing there the other day. Like I think I don't know what I was doing down there way, but a lot of shit's closed way, all the shit that all
Yeah.
the clubs that were popping, I know we're giving our age and when we used to party and shit, like, but a lot of that shit's gone way. There's some new shit
Yeah.
going on way, but it ain't like it used to be way. But what's
It
it
ain't
called?
like them good old days.
Mi barrio, ya no es mi barrio, Holmes. But check this out. The good thing about this place, way, not just because we don't gotta be out in the street when the hoodlums is running through the city, you know what I'm saying?
Running
But
loose.
it's cold. It's gonna be cold, you never know if it's gonna snow, but the good thing about Target Center, it's all connected to skyways, like
Yeah.
for people that might not understand how that works is like Minneapolis is known to be cold, so is St. Paul. So all our downtown buildings, you park at a ramp or you park at an underground ramp even, um, and then you take the elevator to the level where the skyway is at, and they're basically like little bridges from building to building and building to
Yeah.
building, so you don't have to actually be outside.
Yeah. So that yeah, that's one cool thing about Minneapolis and St. Paul. Like you said, there's skyways like all throughout the downtown. So like connecting buildings. Some of the skyways, like if you're going from a parking ramp to a building, it's not gonna be heated. But if you're going from like a office building to another office building, or from like a department store to another department store, like those are heated skyways.
Yeah.
So in Minnesota, since it's like people don't want to be going out in the cold or in the snow and all that and getting their shoes wet and getting all that. They created these skyways, man, that people are able to just walk through them like sidewalks, man. So that's one really cool thing about Minneapolis. I got to be honest with, like, I've never I've never needed them because I never, we don't be downtown like that. You know what I mean? Like only when you go to like stadiums, but like as far as like going to like, you know, the department stores and all that, I always saw it as a headache. Where like I always saw it as a like it's not convenient way to go downtown to go shopping way because it's like the parking sucks way and it's
Yeah.
just I don't know, it's a hassle.
Have you ever done that though? Like ever?
Nah,
See, I,
nah.
I used to do that when I was younger, you know what I mean? When I was like in fucking ninth, 10th grade and shit, because we used to be on the city bus all the time.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the only times that I would shop downtown. They had the fucking Marshalls, they had the Macy's and all that shit, but even that's all gone now way. I don't
Yeah.
know, way. Fucking downtown is just different way.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's a little bit of what we go through here in Minnesota, man. It's cold, it's snowy, the streets get icy, you get sick a lot.
You know,
When you got kids that go to school, they bring back the germs back home, you get sick more than usual, man. It's
no, that's true way because
stressful, man.
we took I took my girl took our daughter to they have this like indoor community center over here way.
Hmm.
Um and bro, like I don't know if it was that same night or the next day. Wait, she already had like a runny nose or some shit. You know what I mean? Like them
Yeah,
germs. Way, it's just that's just what kids that are gonna be touching everything, and it's not even
putting their
adults.
hands in their mouth.
Bro, I even see adults doing that shit at work. Way, like opening doors. Way, opening.
Bro, I never told you this way. I forgot about this shit, way. But you know how I had went to Disney World, right? Me and the family, we went to Disney World.
Mhm.
Bro, I saw. I'm not even looking for this shit, way, but I saw some of the weirdest shit ever. Way, I saw a lot of people scratching their asses. Way, like bro,
Nah.
like inside of their pants. Way, I'm not even talking about like sometimes te da un poco de comezón. Way, but no way.
No mames, güey, no
You know,
mames.
no, this was flat out like digging, bro. And I was just
It's
like,
because it's swampy in Florida, way.
bro, it was
Your
highway,
cheeks
but
be humid as fuck, way.
bro, it was highway, pero no era para tanto, way. So first one, way, it was a kid. He was like 14, 15 years old, way. No, I would say 13, 14. We're standing, we're standing at a at this place. I guess it's a restaurant. We're gonna get some food, right? And the lines are long for everything, way. And we're just standing there way, and I'm just like, you people watch, right? You every time you go, you're just looking around. And all of out of nowhere, bro, I see this kid, bro, like he's like I said, 13, 14. He sticks his hand in his pants way, like in his underwear and everything, way. And he's just in there digging and scratching, bro.
Ew.
And I was like, no mames, way, what the fuck? When his parents are right there, but his parents ni se dan cuenta because they're looking like at their phone, because over there nowadays you look at your phone for the maps and you schedule the next trip. I mean, the next ride or the next event. So the parents ni se daban cuenta, way.
That's a lesson in life right there, way.
Next thing you know, way, the kid pulls his hand that way. He sniffs his hand
Oh
way.
my
That's not
God.
even the worst part, bro. He sniffs his hand, then he licks his fingers way.
You're lying,
I
way.
put this shit on everything way.
What the fuck?
This
A
little
self
dude,
booty eater?
this dude, bro. I'm telling you, way, he scratched his ass way, sniffed his hand, then licked it way. I'm like, all right in front of his parents way, and his parents, he said they don't cuenta way because they're on their phones way, and I'm just like, that shit was so disgusting, bro. I couldn't even tell my girl at that moment because we were about to eat way. So I'm like, I'm not trying to fuck up our
Oh,
food way.
that didn't
But
fuck
I
up
was,
your appetite though, huh?
I mean, I'm not that sensitive way. You know what I
You got
mean?
some chocolate covered donuts and some
He
shit.
wasn't serving my food, man. Um, but and then I was like, man, that shit's weird, right? Next thing you know, bro, yeah, like it was later on, bro. We're at the castle because at nighttime at the castle they do lights and fireworks and all
Yeah.
that. And now this is a grown couple, bro. These people are like 30 plus years old, bro. The dude, I don't know if it was a kinky thing or the dude's ass was itching, bro. But his girl was all in his ass, like movement. There was a lot of movement going on, bro.
Oh,
I don't know if she was scratching or she was doing something else, bro.
she
But it
was
was
playing him like a puppet way.
I don't know, but there was a lot of movement. I'm just like, what is my luck way that I always end up being in front of all these booty touching, booty playing people, bro. I'm just like, damn, bro. So
That's
that
wild
was,
way.
bro. I'm telling you, I was. It's not that I'm looking for that shit. I was just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm just like, damn. But
Those are a special kind of people way. You know what I mean? It's like it
because
takes
you see those people, like sometimes we see videos on like on IG or like TikTok about some weird people that do shit like that, right? But
Mhm.
bro, I seen that shit in real life, way, and that shit. There's real weirdo motherfuckers out there like that, man.
That's crazy. I forgot what I was even about to say. Way. What the fuck was I
Shit.
talking about?
You said
Um,
that.
yeah, but anyways, man. Oh, I was gonna say something about the weather's changing over here. What the fuck was I gonna? Oh, I was gonna say,
This guy.
isn't it crazy how our winters are a long way, and I don't remember them affecting me like they've affected me this year way. You know what I mean? Like
Like affected
before,
you how?
like it's like damn, like I'm supposed to be doing so much more shit, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you find yourself just chilling at the crib, which there's nothing wrong with chilling at the crib, you know what I mean? I got a lot of shit to do at the crib, but I think since the summertime we were always out and about way, you know what I mean? Whether we're working on jet skis or at the lake or just always outside. Way I was so used to being outside that this year, this winter to me is like fuck, dude. I was like, man, just chilling inside and shit, bro. It's like I've been
You getting depressed and shit, man.
nah, I wouldn't say depressed way, but it does make me question like, all
Is
right,
there
am
a
I
God?
no, 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 no. It does make me question, like, fuck, like, I need to start doing some more productive shit, way. You know what I'm saying? Because,
No, I'm that's I mean that winter affects people differently way. Like people do get depressed during the winter time out here way. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like there's people that buy different type of light bulbs way. We mentioned this before way, but you know, we get new listeners way, so we gotta repeat some of these little things. There's people that buy light bulbs, you know, those daylight light bulbs way because they get depressed by the day being so short, by it getting dark so fast.
oh yeah, that's another
So
thing. It gets dark.
so
It gets dark early.
yeah, so that's why people buy them type of light bulbs way just because it kind of tricks the brain into just thinking it's still daylight out, and you know what I mean? Like it's crazy
Yeah,
how it affects certain people way. I think I think it happens to everybody way. Just like Sundays are always a little bit like like you're dreadful because you know you're gonna go back to work,
yeah.
you know the fun is over. You know they I know they call it Sunday fun day way, but you know it's fun. It's a fun day until like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. when you're like,
Yeah,
fuck, it's time to
yeah.
plan for Monday. But
That's facts, way.
but it's you know, to me, winter here starts affecting me like that, kind of like late February. That's when I'm kind of like, all right, I'm done with this shit. But you know, honestly, I've been all right. I've been all right this year.
Yeah, yeah. For the most part, I'm good, way. I'm just saying, it's like I feel like I could be doing something a little different. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, way. That'll be something else for a different time, way.
But yeah, man, you know, anyways, changing the subject, bro. Um, this week, man, you know, I was into a podcast, bro. I know you listen to the podcast too, way the George Lopez podcast. I think it's called Oh My God Hi. That's a
Yeah.
weird podcast name, to tell you the truth. But we've been listening to it for a while. We always, you know, share certain stories that George Lopez shared. His co-host is Gil on there. I think it's entertaining way, you know. So I was listening to it this you know, this Monday or Tuesday or something like that, bro. And I was like, oh shit, you know, when I seen this guest that he had on there, I was kind of excited with because I had seen this dude all over TikTok way. So I'm like, oh shit, this has to be a good conversation way. And I gotta say, wait, like we see some comedians that go on the George Lopez podcast way, and it's a really good conversation way. You know, I had never heard of Willie Barcena before he was on the George Lopez podcast, and a lot of people might say we culture vultures for that way, but
Hmm.
he was never in our radar way, you know. Um,
That was the underground times, though. I think.
yeah, but Willie Barcena, like when I heard that episode, I was like, damn, that episode was fucking dope. Way like we got some of the backstories and the history of the Latino comedians back in the day, right? And then they got into some real conversation about you know George helping the Latino comedians and the his fellow Latinos along the way, and we all thought it was pretty dope that they were that open about that conversation. So when he had this dude on, I was like, okay, that should be good, man. Because you know you know when I'm on TikTok and stuff, that dude Steve Trevino, his videos always be popping up, bro. Like whether it's his video alone, or people are like doing the voiceover, and you know how they be doing the reenactments way, and like
Hmm.
the voices over on way. Like there's so many videos of him on there way. So I'm like, oh shit, like this should be a good one. Um, and just listen to it way I was like okay, it was good, man. You know, it was a lot of real conversation. um a lot of gems were being dropped away, but a lot of shade was being thrown away. George Lopez responded to Paul Rodriguez on there, and you know he responded with some real shit way, you know, that a lot of people will, you know, should, if they don't understand it, then they should at least respect it, you know, like um when you're on a podcast way, especially when you know each other, you should be able to name drop people and you should be able to say how you really feel about them way, because that's the beauty about podcasts. Way people listen to hear the real shit. Way people
Yeah.
don't. It's not a movie. It's not a script. It's not a written comedy bits and all that shit, bro. It's like real conversation that's happening. Way so when you listen to podcasts, that's what you love about it. Way the realness, the rawness of people just having conversation. Yeah, this is like tell you the truth, salen cosas that you didn't want to share with, but in the momento you just said it right.
Yeah.
So he responded to Paul Rodriguez, man, and then they got into the conversation about whether George helped Latinos along the way, bro. And I thought that was again, I think people should call him out. Way I think we're in the day and age way, and especially when people get as you get older and your success also starts kind of matching others, your other the other person's success, where you're kind of more comfortable to have that conversation with. So Steve Trevino did, confess that at one point he did feel like a victim, that he did feel like why wasn't George helping him like he should be helping him, which in reality, way I think that's a wrong way to look at things too. Way like you should never look at another dude expecting for him to help you. Way like
Yeah.
why is it that we hear this a lot? Way why is it that people always look at Kid Frost like he didn't help as the Chicano rappers like he should have helped them. They look at George Lopez like he didn't help Latino comedians like he should have helped them. Um, they look at a lot of people right like that way, and for the most part, way we always heard like George Lopez, um, he was kind of like a gatekeeper, right? He didn't want to let certain people in certain shows, or he didn't want people to open up for him. But on this,
Mostly Hispanics though. So what people are
yeah,
saying.
yeah, mostly Hispanics, and that one comedian that came out saying that was Juan Villarreal, from Texas. He had a podcast interview with what are those dudes called from Texas, the Ghetto Boys.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
On the Ghetto Boys, he told a story about how he wanted to join the Black and Brown tour, which it was called Black and Brown tour, but it was only George Lopez as the only brown representation,
Hmm.
which I think Juan Villarreal would have been perfect for that way, because
Yeah.
Juan Villarreal, his stand up is very universal. Like it's hood. I see Juan Villarreal's comedy more like hood comedy, way like anyone from the hood can relate to it, way.
Hmm.
And on that podcast, he shared the story about how George didn't want to let him on there because he wanted to be the only Mexican, way.
Yeah.
And we always had them doubts, right? We're like, man, is that real? Is that fake? But on this episode, we saw that George. Well, at least that's how I took it, and a lot of people are taking it, way. Because when I heard this podcast, way, there was a lot of stories, way, that I knew. I was like, oh shit, like I made clips out of them because I wanted to see the people's response to that. I want to see the people's thoughts to that, way. And one of them was when Steve Trevino kept name dropping Ralph Barboza, and he kept saying, "This kid Ralph Barboza, he's gonna be the next big thing." Or, man, we need to help this kid Ralph Barboza come up easy, make it easier for him. And George Lopez didn't like that way, Um, it was like the third time that Steve Trevino ended up name dropping him. George Lopez was like, "Who the fuck is that motherfucker? And why you keep name dropping him if no one fucking knows him?" You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that moment right there, where it showed everyone what everyone's been listening or hearing to begin with, bro, about George Lopez not worried about helping the next brown comedian or the next brown man, bro. Like, what do you think about that, bro? Do you think it was just towards like Steve Trevino, or do you think like George was kind of meaning it like towards in general, like don't worry about nobody else, way, just worry about yourself all the time?
Well, I had never heard of this Steve Trevino dude, so and I didn't watch it. I just heard it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
So you don't see really face expressions. You just kind of listening to the conversation.
Yeah.
Um, but if somebody says, "Why are you worried about bringing somebody else up?" when me personally, I had never heard of Steve Trevino way. So I would possibly take it as George Lopez saying, "Why are you going to worry about bringing somebody else up? Worry about yourself, situate yourself, bring yourself up." You mentioned that Steve Trevino is doing good on TikTok, so he needs to, I'm not saying what he should do, but I'm saying maybe George Lopez is saying focus on building from that and growing from that, and then start worrying about other people. But I don't know. I really don't know the situation. From what my understanding is with comedians, it's a lot like the rap game, bro. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, there's clicks. Like I went and looked at some Ralph Barbosa, I think that's his last name,
Yeah.
pictures on his Instagram, and I see him with a certain little crew that he seems to tour with. You go
Mm-hmm.
to other comedians, like look at us. We're cool with Alfred Robles. That's the homie. Way we see he's with a certain group. We see Felipe Esparza. He moves with a certain group. You see George Lopez. He's moving with the Get Down Boys. You know what I mean? Um, but I just think that it's a dirty game, bro. If you look at it as George Lopez being culero for not helping anybody, yeah, he could be called a culero for that. You know what I mean? He could be looked at as you didn't help anybody out or you didn't make it any easier for anybody. But in his mind, he's probably like, I, and I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying he might just look at it like, ain't nobody helped me. I figured it out. If you guys are that good, you'll figure it out yourselves as well. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, I think
It
that's how
sounds
he meant
culero
it.
as
Way.
fuck. It sounds
Yeah.
culero as fuck. The clips. A lot of people are saying that they're clickbait, that they're meant to stir the pot, or they're meant to. Um, no, you're not gonna fucking put somebody's whole podcast on your Instagram. You know what I mean? If you guys are that interested, go
you,
go go listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, all those clips, way they're not edited in a crazy way, like the way they did American Cholo that one time. It is not edited in a way like they did American Cholo that one time. And
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
these are clean cut little clips
yeah.
of George Lopez podcast. The obviously we're gonna put the more interesting and the ones that we want to see people's responses to that and their thoughts on it. You're
Yeah,
not gonna put boring clips on IG or any social media. Obviously, that's not what how the fucking social media works, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I think yeah, George Lopez sees it that way. Nobody helped me, so why should I help anyone? But I don't. Obviously, that's not the right way to see things. And then on the same breath as him saying like a good thing, he turns around and just fucks it all up. Way in the very same sentence where he's like, you know, it might seem like people might say I never did nothing for the Latinos or I never helped anyone else. But the way they could see it is I created the blueprint or I created the template for people to follow and just follow what I did and take it from there. If you really want it that bad, that the template is there, right?
Yeah.
As in the very same breath he said that, Steve Trevino says, yeah, and that's why I feel like we should help comedians like Ralph Barbosa make it easier for them. And right there, bro, like George, he snapped when he was like, why the fuck do you got to bring him up? No one fucking knows who he is. Why you keep mentioning him?
Mm-hmm.
And the way he was saying it and the energy that he had, way it seemed like he does know who he is and he just doesn't like him for some reason, way. So
I don't know about that.
but this is the thing where you just listen to it, and that's why I like watching certain podcasts because facial expressions, wait, don't
Mm,
lie, bro.
mm.
Like facial expressions just tell you, and like I told you, um, like I told you, Steve Trevino, he name dropped Ralph Barbosa like 3 4 times on that podcast before George Lopez finally snapped on it, right? And every time he mentioned it, bro, you just see George Lopez's face, bro, and it was like it bothered him, bro. And I'm just like, there's some there, bro. And
I think what bothers George Lopez more is people getting free clout on his platform. You know what I mean? I I don't know. I don't think he knew him. I honestly don't think that he had heard of him.
if you're in the rap game, you would know what rappers are coming up, right? And if you're in the comedy world, like what the Latino comedy world, bro, I feel like it's small enough for you to know who's who, especially if they've been on late night shows with like who's that Jimmy
Fallon?
Fallon and
Yeah.
shit like that, bro. But yeah, it was weird, bro. But I feel
Yeah.
like people saw that side of George Way, and now people are like, fuck George Lopez, bro, and like people are using George Lopez very same saying against him now. The FTP, so it's like George Lopez, he created that saying for the culture way.
Yeah,
Now the culture is turning their backs on him and saying the very same saying to him way.
yeah. It doesn't look good for George way. It doesn't, for a vato that build his whole career off of Latino um, audiences and
Yeah.
Latino support and being that dude, right? Always using the
Mm-hmm.
Chicano card to be, voice to be the voice for us, way, to be
Yeah.
our humor, to use our comedy, our humor, which is also his way, but use it and monetize it and stamp George Lopez all over it. It's a bad look to see him not trying to. I shouldn't say not trying, but basically, it's not in his it's not in his mission to help other Latin comics come up. That's it. It kind of just shows that that's not what his goal is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, I don't think he's against helping people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So if people, like you said, if people actually listen to his podcast, and even like if people actually listen to it, they'll see that he actually does help certain people that go on there. He'll help them out with getting on his show. He'll help them out
yeah,
with doing certain things. But it's like bro, it just shows way how you could do 100 things right, but you do one thing that's pretty culero way, and everyone is
yeah.
gonna just focus on that really culero shit that you just did,
Well,
and
nobody
and and,
likes
and forget everything else.
righteousness. Is boring way. You know what I mean? Doing a good deed is boring. It doesn't, unless you're over there giving thousands of dollars to a homeless person, you know what I mean, or somebody in need, that gets a lot of
Yeah.
clicks too. But I fuck with George Lopez podcast way, even though some people might be like, "Oh, you guys did those clips to make him look bad, to have him lose a lot of
Stir the
fans,
pot.
stir the pot." No, that's not the case. To be honest, after I listen to Pura Cultura on Mondays, I always go check out George Lopez right after way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but from being a loyal listener of that podcast myself, way, you can see that he has changed, and he has mentioned it, that he says, "Yeah, I didn't used to help people, but it looks like now a lot of the guests he has on his page, I mean on his podcast, um, he's always giving them ideas with. He's always
Yeah.
giving them like, oh shit, like you could make a show on that.
Mm-hmm.
Write that show and I'll see what I can do for you. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
like I just seen Jesus Supelva or whatever his last name is.
Supelva.
Supelva on the podcast. And George Lopez said, "Man, you know, let's work. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do a show out here somewhere or something like that. You wanna go?" He said, "Fuck yeah," or something like that, right? Every guest that he has now, like Willie Barcena, he didn't have to have him on there. Steve Trevino, he didn't have to have him on there. If he got bothered by Willie Barcena's questions, I had never heard of Willie Barcena. I had never heard of Steve Trevino. But if
Mm-hmm.
he had really got like bothered by like, man, these motherfuckers keep putting me on blast that I didn't help Latinos or I didn't help, he could have just fucking deleted that episode way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's
And
not
and
he's
and just
not
like you
trying to
mentioned,
hide it.
yeah, and just like you mentioned, he could have deleted that episode. He could have edited that part out when he said that about Ralph Barboza, right?
Yeah.
So for people that listen to our podcast, where they know that we don't like to name drop like that, or we don't like to really make people look bad, because our mission is to really, make the culture look good and hype up the culture and all that. But I was like, damn, I feel like people need to see this. Like, I think these are clips that people need to see. And if George Lopez felt very comfortable releasing that episode and the audio on his platforms, then he should be comfortable enough for people to take those bits and share them, those clips, and share them. So that's why we wanted to share them and just get people's thoughts on the way. And like we saw, way that shit went viral. Way everyone's talking about it. George Lopez, it was not a good look for George Lopez at all, and it was a very good look for Steve Trevino, man. Steve Trevino looked like a real stand up dude, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it
Americans,
just
America's husband.
Like
Strikes again.
now he looks like America's husband, America's friend,
Theo.
America's homie. He's
Yeah.
just that dude, man. But it just shows way. If you do right by people and you always wanna if you always want to just do right by people and be fair way, like that shit goes a long way, bro. Because sometimes you're gonna get respect by when you don't even realize that you're gonna get respected by a certain comment that you said or a certain conversation that you have. It's just I guess just always stay solid and you know people will recognize a solid one when they hear one or when they see one.
Yeah, stay true to yourself, you know what I mean? Stay true to
Yeah.
your own character, to your own you know, your own integrities and all that stuff, way, because a lot of people might not have heard of Steve Trevino, way, or maybe it's just fucking me, I don't know, way, but now
You're
it
just
makes
like George Lopez never heard of Ralph Barboza,
I
man.
never heard that motherfucker, way, you know, but now it's making me like curious to be like, oh, maybe he has some stand up bits on YouTube or some shit, and I'll go look for him. You know what I mean?
No,
Ralph
yeah.
Barbosa, he's a dude that I just seen in 2022. Way, you know, TikTok blew him up, I believe. Way, not
Mhm.
TikTok didn't blow him up. Way, his hard work helped him blow up. Way, but I think TikTok really generated a lot of those you know those numbers to go up and people to
Yeah.
actually get him on their screens. Way, and I think he's on his way up, bro. He has a different type of stand up. He's not your comic that uses your standard or your
Typical.
typical Latino bits or stand up jokes. He actually he I actually didn't even know he was Mexican one. You know what I mean? I thought he was Puerto
Mhm.
Rican. I don't know if he was I don't know Cuban. You know what I mean? Because because the
His hairstyle throws you off a little bit.
yeah a lot
I
of
mean,
the stuff.
he kind of has the Edgar cut, but you
Oh
know,
shit! Oh shit! Edgar. Um, so a lot of his humor is like, I just got my first apartment, and he like does jokes like that, right? Or my friend sells drugs, and you know, blah blah blah. And
he's a
so
funny dude, man.
so I hear stuff like that, and you don't really put him with like, oh, this is a Latin comic. You know what I mean? This
Hmm.
guy is like my tia. You know, she threw the chancla at me. He doesn't use jokes like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Well,
more like
it's kind of like fluffy, you know, like you throw a little bit of the Latino sauce on it, bro, but not you don't drown it with sauce. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sprinkle, you know, pour a little bit on there. You know, like when he talks about, he's like, you know, he had this one bit where he talked about when school would call his house because he was either bad or missed school. You know, his grandma didn't speak English, so he's the one that had to translate to his
Yeah,
grandma about what they were
yeah,
saying. Like, bro, we've all been there, you know. So it's
yeah.
very relatable shit when it's like you gotta translate, and obviously you change the whole story so you don't look that bad, man. So it's he's a funny dude, way. So I think George did a very bad move by not taking him under his wing and not trying to mentor him or not trying
Yeah.
to like make it a little easier or even team up with him, bro, because that's how you stay relevant in this world. Way team up with the fresh dudes that are coming in the game because they got that fresh ideas. They got that energy to you know and the creativeness to make new shit or make shit happen. Way so, I think that was a that's a very bad move by George. Way, but
Do you
I also
think?
wanted to.
Go ahead,
What's
Will.
up?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead because I was gonna switch it.
Um, I was gonna say, do you think fucking George Lopez is just a cranky old dude now, man? I don't know. Way he seems sometimes he just seems like a cranky old dude now. Way.
Sometimes he does, way. You know, I mean, the vato anda pisteando while he's recording too, way. So sometimes the alcohol might get the best of him too, man.
Yeah, I seen that. People were saying that he's like super drunk in his episode. I've never seen an episode where George Lopez is fucked up. Way.
Nah, he's not fucked up. Like I'm sure he catches a nice buzz.
Yeah. So some people are just talking shit. Way. But anyways,
Yeah.
you know, Paul Rodriguez. I mean, I heard, you know, Paul Rodriguez is not an innocent cat, and he doesn't claim to be. Way when he
Mm-hmm.
went on the Felipe Esparza episode to kind of just get the his say back to George Lopez, he said it himself. I used to be fucked up sometimes. I was always drunk, and maybe I didn't treat everybody fair all the time and shit like that. Do you remember that?
No. Mm-mm.
You know, so I just think everybody has their things way, you know what I mean? These
Yeah,
motherfuckers are like in their early 60s way. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna fuck up somewhere down the line somewhere, man. And we're gonna
yeah,
see if George Lopez makes an apology or if he just says, I don't give a fuck what you motherfuckers think, way. I'm gonna talk my shit, you know? Like,
yeah. Another piece on this episode, where another clip that I had did was that part where Steve Trevino said that he hosted a little tour. He hosted a tour with called the Three Amigos. Ironically, it was called the Three Amigos, and none of the three motherfuckers got along with. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So the tour was George Lopez, Paul Rodriguez, and Carlos Mencia. Way they were on the tour together, and as the Steve Trevino talked about how they each had their own rooms and none of them were talking to each other. They were all pissed off at each other. Carlos Mencia would always go over his time, so they had to find him every time that he went over every minute. Um, and it was like very hostile, right? It was a very hostile environment way with all of them three working together way. And that's why I when I shared that clip, I put they fumbled the bag way, because can you imagine how much money these dudes would have made way if they just didn't let their egos get a like block the block them from being able to have a successful tour way. You know, they
Yeah.
let their egos get to them way. They probably each thought they deserved the most money. They probably each thought that they felt like they brought in the most fans. They probably each thought that one was funnier than the other, so they should be the headliner, or you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So bro, like they let their egos get in the way of them being able to make good money with. Like imagine them touring like all the Southwest during that time way, how much money they would have, how many shows they would have sold out, how much money they would have made. But they said that they couldn't go past the scheduled shows, which was five, you know. And George Lopez said it himself. He's like, we made a lot of money, you know, we made pretty good money off of that.
yeah.
So it's like, imagine if they would have just extended that to do more, you know. And it's like, bro, it's like I don't get it way. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers that are that famous way, you can't just sit down and be like, all right, man, let's rotate. One day, you know, like one day
Yeah.
you headline, the next show I headline, the next show he had headlines, and let's rotate this bitch, man. Let's make this money. Let's do these shows, man. Let's go get this bag. But I feel like they definitely fumbled the bag way by letting their egos um take control of who they were, man. And
Yeah.
it's crazy way because we would have never known this. And again, that's why it's good to be very real on podcasts. That's why it's dope to listen to certain podcasts. You know, like George Lopez, that we get to hear stories about our I wouldn't say idols, but like the people that we grew up watching or the people that we grew up listening to. Like that's a story you want to listen to it because like yeah, it's cool to listen to everybody else with, but it's like it's also it's about time we start listening to some of the people that we grew up watching or looking up to, you know. So
Yeah.
that was an interesting way, but that was like, damn man, I can't believe them motherfuckers was doing shit like that, you know. And like then he said after that they went off and did the Land Kings of Comedy way. And in my head way, you know, we watched that when we was younger way, but in my head I'm like, man, all the motherfuckers must be cool as hell way. They must
Mhm.
go hang out after the shows, you know, have a few beers and party way. Bro, these motherfuckers, to come to find out, they can't even fucking stand each other, bro. So
That shit
that's just
happens,
wild.
way. That shit's gonna happen, bro. Motherfuckers break up all the fucking time, way. You know, it's the most common thing, way, actually, to be honest, way. You know, you fucking Bone Thugs broke up, way. Fucking the Joe Budden podcast crew, which they were like some of the pioneers in the urban podcast to actually be blowing up like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just common for motherfuckers to not see eye to eye, especially when there's money involved with. And
But that's like a group in itself, though, way. But like you see different rap groups, or you see different comedians way tour together way, and they don't got to be best friends, but they can at least tour together way,
yeah,
and get that bag way, and accomplish the mission of what you got in it to begin with. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But and also tell me this: why is it that D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer, Eddie Griffith, all these dudes, how come they can still tour nonstop every year? They're doing a tour
mhm,
around the states. Way, why is it that they can get along and go and you know do their job, get their money way, pay their bills way, be successful in what they do way, and we don't got to hear about them beefing entre each other way. Like we don't hear that way. So
That's true.
it goes back to what we've been talking about these past few episodes when it's like, damn, everything is leading up to this, or everything continues to be that conversation about how everyone just talks about, yo, viva la raza, hey, brown pride this, brown pride that, or man, we, Mexicans, we the best. But then again, we can't get along. You know what I mean? It goes back to that way. Like why the fuck can't we just get along with? And like, and if you don't gotta be best friends, but can you at least be professional enough to
Yeah,
get the job done,
yeah,
get your bag, go home, live a successful life way, without motherfuckers having to see how fucking like hostile the situation is way. Like imagine that way. Like you guys are so pissed off and unhappy way that other people gotta be uncomfortable by your guys' behavior way. You know what I mean? Like that.
yeah.
I think we, as a culture way and as a community way, we need to snap out of that shit, bro. Like we need to put like professionalism before anything else way. Like, yeah, we see all this shit where Latinos can't get along at the workplace, where they're fighting about who wants to be supervisor, or manager, or whatever. But it's like, I guess it could fit anywhere, bro. Like we gotta just keep it professional in everything we do. With you know what I mean, and like don't let our egos and our emotions get involved with it, and all that bullshit, bro. Because it's like I said, bro, it's a bad look way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a fucked up look way, but it is in every community way. I don't agree with people saying that this doesn't happen in the black community, this doesn't happen in the other communities. I just think it's obviously we're paying more attention to it because it's our community way, but I just think there is some fucked up motherfuckers way. There is some fucked up
But why
motherfuckers
why is it that all these fucked up motherfuckers happen to be in our culture, bro?
because that's what we focus on way. You know what I'm saying? Um, like one of the common things that people say is way, and this even goes in the Latino rap game, Chicano rap game. People feel like they're helping put somebody on, but then they kind of get some dirty business done behind their back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way some people are way. Like, I don't want to go too deep into it way, but people are too sensitive way. People take things too personal, and I don't think people need to take things personal way. Like even with this beef that's going on in the rap game, I've heard people say, and I've seen the people that commented on people's pages, and I ain't gonna forget that. You know what I mean? If it's ever if it's ever in my position to help you out or throw you a bone, you lost that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Who was
Everybody,
saying shit like that?
yeah, way. I don't want to drop the name way because he's already pissed off way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know who he's
I
talking
have an
to.
idea. I know I have an idea who you talking about now, man.
But it look at that. Even for the light, even for something light that doesn't even involve money, people are quick to say like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers! I'll never fuck with you guys again." So it's people taking things too personal, people not letting things go as far as you know their ego. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, fuck, this is showbiz. Sometimes it's like whole biz, and keep it pushing and doing business way. Sometimes people's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, but they don't realize that, man, all those people were stepping stones to somebody that could even help you in your career to further that or to further whatever the fuck you're doing.
I'm
um
telling you, I
and
think I think when you gotta see shit that way, bro. Like you don't know who's gonna be who way. You never
yeah,
know who's gonna be who in this world, bro. So as long as, and I'm not saying just do it for that reason way, but as long as you treat everyone fair and everyone right, bro, then you don't got nothing to worry about, bro. Like if someone you helped along the way, bro, thought it was that dope of you to help them, and then one day they're in the position to help you out or bring you along, like bro, like that's the best way to go about things, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like we need to stop just having that ego, man, and having that machismo, bro. Like that machismo ain't gonna get us nowhere, bro. And like we see that in the Chicano rap game, we see that in the Latino comedy world, and it's like, and you know, it's crazy way because all this controversy and all this cheese man, that shit sells way, right? Like people love the cheese man way. But at the end of the day, like people feed into it, people add gas to the fire way, but it's like at the end of the day, you know, just like if anything, man, you gotta be careful what you do. Like as far as the rappers way and even the comedians way, like don't get don't get carried away with everyone on the sidelines egging you on to continue
Yeah.
this fight and continue this because you're the one in the fight and your career and your life is the one that's gonna be affected way. And I say that because I see that shit in the comments, bro. I see people saying like, "Yo, man, this person said this about you, man. Go talk some shit to him, man. Or let him know what's up." And I'm like, bro, like that's the
uh,
dumbest thing, bro. And then people are wondering like, how come people can't get along when people are egging on the fights, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, man, we had to talk about this, bro. It's unfortunate way, and like we said, way it's a damn shame when we can't get along, bro. It's a damn shame where it's like we're seeing a lot of this in the culture right now in the community. But I think people are fed up with it, bro. And um people are done with that old school mentality. People are done with that old way of seeing and doing things way. And
Yeah.
I think that's for the best way. I think once we get that shit out of our community way and out of our culture way, I think we're gonna be a lot more successful way because there was this one dude that recently shared something like, man, Mexicans have such a large population that if the motherfuckers could just get along, they would be running the music game. They would be running. Like honestly, wait. We would run the music game. We would run the movie game. We would run the podcast game. We would run everything if motherfuckers just looked at each other as inspiration, or they looked at you as like you got something important to say, or they look. If we looked at each other like we're valuable way,
Yeah.
then we would be a lot more successful in this world, bro. But
Yeah.
brown people can look at other brown people and be inspired or see value in a way. They
We
got to see
see
other people.
competition.
You see competition, bro. Like they say, like that dude said in the music world, we would be running it, right? If Mexicans just figured out a way to get along, right? For movies, they say that Mexicans or Latinos we're the biggest community that goes to movie theaters and watches movies way, but we're the least represented in these movies way. So what does that tell you? Way? It's like we support all this other shit, which is not wrong to go see a movie that you like. It don't have to be Latino affiliated, or you can like music that's not a Latino artist. But it's like let's support our own just the same, just like we support other people way, because it's like we putting all our support on other stuff way, and we don't support our people enough way, and that's why they just keep us in the shadows way. They keep us um what do you say, like satisfied, they'll throw us a bone here and there just to keep us
Yeah.
quiet, like they throw they'll throw us a little a couple crumbs with just to keep us busy way, and
I
not and
think
not
I think I think some raza can't just they can't just expect people to help them out just because you're Latino way, to be honest, también way, You gotta work your ass off too,
yeah.
man. There's there's a lot of shit that we just ain't ready for. And I'm speaking for everybody, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that you can achieve that, but you're not working at
Yeah.
that level yet. You know what I mean? You're working at a different level, and that's why you're at that level. Once you start putting yourself in them higher levels, you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? I don't, bringing back George Lopez, like there was a question in there. Do you think Hollywood is keeping Latinos back or something like that? He said, I don't think so. I think there's not enough Latinos out there chasing to go get it. You know what I mean? Like, why is it that the rappers that we can talk about now, like the top ones or the OGs, they're still the same ones? There's a few new ones here sprinkled in here and there that they stick around for 5 years or so, and then a whole new little group comes, and actors, you always have that same group that's in movies way. You're Hectors and
I don't think so, way. I don't think so, way. There is a thing in Hollywood, bro, where they wanna stereotype you, or they wanna role like they keep you for a certain roles way. Like even Steve Trevino said on there, like when he came to Hollywood and he wanted to start um like not rehearsing, but when you go like what the fuck is that called? When you do a
um,
screenplay or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
He said that they wanted to hire him to be like a fucking janitor or a fucking gang member or like
yeah.
it's like a something type. I forgot what it's called. So it's like
Typecasting or something like that.
typecast you. Yeah, you get typecasted. So it's like that's a form of holding you back way. You know, there's so many people in there's so many people in the industry, I bet, that don't know nothing about gangster culture, don't know nothing about general labor, and then you're supposed to like somehow all of a sudden be like, oh, I guess being a gangster is all they're given. I guess I'll be a gangster. Like I think there is a type that they want to hire, bro, and once they start hiring Latinos to be the lead role or an important role in the movie way, that's when people are gonna start seeing more Latinos as important actors in the movie way.
I think people just
Like
need to step the game up to the way. Look
well, I
at
mean,
look at
we
the
don't know
dude.
we don't know who's involved in the movies though. Like
Look at
we don't know who's getting held back.
the dude from Black Panther. They threw some Mexicans in there. I'm not really sure how Aztecs came about in that movie, but that dude came from straight Mexico, where he said that there was a lot of um, discrimination at him in Mexico itself. So
Yeah,
not only did he succeed in Mexico, this dude is on one of the biggest movies in what is that? Who makes
Marvel.
Marvel? You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
just think if you work your ass off, just like that dude, he's actually kind of like a motivational speaker when he gets interviewed and shit. Um, he just said, keep fucking working your ass off, and then when you get to the door, kick that fucking door open. You know?
yeah. No, I get that. Like if people that work the hardest, they're gonna make it regardless, right? But it's like I feel like I don't want to get into all that, but I feel like there's privilege, just like there's white privilege in the real world, just like there's white privilege in corporate America. It's I'm sure there's the same white privilege in Hollywood, bro, where it's just easier for white people to get in the
Yeah.
doorway. You know what
Well,
I mean?
there's more movies based on Caucasians, I'm guessing. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why more Latinos need to be involved. And I know it's getting more popular way, but there's a lot of brown stories that need to be told way. But it's like that's why it's so important when a movie comes out based on Latinos that we support it way, because when Hollywood sees that these movies are being supported, they're gonna make more of them.
Yeah.
But we could go on forever talking about that, man. Um, but yeah, man. I guess the last thing, way we just wanted to say, prayers to Turkey, bro. Like
Yeah.
it was sad to see way that they were hit with two earthquakes, bro. They were hit with the first earthquake was like 7.8. I mean 7.6, and the second one was 7.8. Way like this these earthquakes were so bad way that buildings were completely collapsing,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Yeah.
just collapsing, just tipping over, just like, bro, there's like thousands of people that have lost their lives because of this way. And some
Mhm.
of those videos is just hard to watch, bro, because it's like little kids getting pulled out of like
Yeah.
rubble. And
Yeah.
like, bro, you can just imagine
Yeah.
it. I'm happy to see the kids that came out alive with, and it's like, dang, thank God they made it. But it's like, bro, that there's a lot of people that didn't
Yeah.
get that lucky way.
Yeah.
So,
So prayers for Turkey, and I believe Syria got hit as well, man.
oh
So
yeah, Syria got hit too.
I know that there's other countries, shipping out help. I believe
Yeah,
Mexico's even sent out their famous group of Los Topos,
yeah,
and
yeah. So
I think they're like professionals in that kind of situation.
yeah, because Mexico's been hit with earthquakes before too. So I feel like that's why Mexico probably has a team dedicated to stuff like
Yeah,
that. So, it makes me proud to see shit like that, bro. And it's
yeah,
like us as a as a podcast that we focus on pura cultura, bro, on our cultura, bro. Like it's important for us to share stuff like that, man. So I hope no one sees it as like, why are you guys focusing on that? Focus on the people themselves that are suffering. It's if we don't shine light on our people that are doing something good in this world, like no one else gives us that credit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we gotta make sure we give ourselves that credit because we that's why in the history books we feel like we never done nothing for this
yeah,
country or for this world
yeah.
because no one shares that shit about us. So
And that's
that's why we
one,
share stuff like that.
the shit that we talk about, the shit that we share, way is why we started this podcast, way, because
Hmm.
we were listeners of all different podcasts and all different radio stations, and everything was dope. The talk was fun. The talk was entertainment. But then when some shit happened in the Latino community, specifically like Mexicans, and nobody talked about it. You know what I mean? We're listening to these radio stations and we're like, what the fuck did they're not gonna talk about, what's happening in Mexico or what happened to these people in California or in Texas or wherever, Chicago. That was a big motivation for us to be like, we gotta start our own podcast so we can talk
Yeah.
about it. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that it's not that we're trying to use scenarios or situations to clickbait or shit like that. It's just like ain't nobody else gonna shine light on us, man. That's why we're here doing what we're doing and talking our shit, sprinkling it with dope shit, and sometimes you gotta add some of that crazy shit I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Because that's everything's involved, man. Everything is part of the culture way.
Oh yeah, man. So shout out to everyone rocking with us, man. Shout out to everyone supporting the podcast. Make sure you share it with your peoples, man. Let them know what's up. We talked about TikTok on here. We just opened up a TikTok. So go follow us on TikTok, Pura Cultura Podcast. And yeah, man. Just want to say thanks for all the people that ordered some merch. We definitely appreciate that. If you haven't ordered some merch with us, go to puraculturapodcast.com, order yourself a t-shirt or a hat, represent the culture, man. And other than that, man, have a dope week.
Yeah, mi gente, thanks for rocking with us, man. You already know, pura cultura sin censura. Fuck depression and fuck anxiety, man. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.